Welcome to this week's STEAMyard Showdown. Today, teams of 5th grade students compete to solve a hands-on engineering challenge with limited time and materials. They're racing the clock to see which team can score the most points towards the championship. Now here's your host, Devin Rossiter at the STEAMyard.
Welcome, everyone. The day is upon us. You are looking at our grand final championship trophy, the STEAMyard Stanley, the Kushine Cup. We are here at the STEAMyard, ready to go for the final day of action as part of our STEAMyard Showdown. I'm Devin Rossiter, joined by our phenomenal facilitators, Jamie and Valerie. Ladies, we are here. Our teams are ready to go. It's been a tremendous journey to get here. We have built wenches. We dropped eggs from the top of parking garages. And today, it's all on the line. We will leave this afternoon knowing who our first ever STEAMyard Showdown champions will be. And on the line today, as far as how we're going to decide that, is our Catapults challenge. So tell us a little bit about the Catapult challenge today.
Today we got to experience popsicle catapult to learn about the investigation with mass, projectile, elastic potential energy, and now they have a beanbag where they have changed the mass of the beanbag, and they did an investigation, and now they were looking at rubber bands and that elastic potential energy and seeing how many rubber bands it could take to help launch their beanbags. And so we are looking at the first time that we've had some on our Lego wall. On our Lego wall, we have this grand piece where we're looking at launching beanbags and hitting the Lego wall in a certain area to get points. And we have our mini launcher, and we have our beanbags, and our contestants are ready to go.
Now, the points that they'll earn from these launches will accumulate towards their totals that they've built up to this point in the competition. And last we left, it was a very close contest. So a lot of points on the line. Now, just to be clear, for all the teams, this is going to be their first time to launch the beanbags that they've built. These points won't count. That will happen in our second segment when we have our first couple of actual iterations. But today, right now, we're just going to do a little bit of a trial. And we're going to start off with one of our co-leaders, the Purple Comets, joined here by Jade and Cypress. And let's talk a little bit about the beanbag that you've built for your first attempt. Tell us a little bit about what you've included in yours.
We included marbles, beans, and like big and small, so pom-poms, so basically everything.
A little bit of everything. There's some softer materials and some heavier, those glass marbles with a little bit more ballast. Now, let's go ahead and give this a shot. We're going to have one person on each side and then a launcher to see where we hit this target. Again, this is just a trial run, so we're going to see how this hits our target for our first attempt. All right. It looks like Cypress will launch, loading up the beanbag. So, where would you say that one landed? Did that hit the 20 mark, or did that come a little bit below there?
I want to say it was right about the 20.
Okay, so if this was an actual launch that would be worth 20 points, what were some things that you noticed about the launch as far as either how much spring back you got, how far back you pulled it, and how the weight of the beanbag might have influenced the launch?
I think our beanbag is broken. There's like a part where it's not sealed, so like beans are like falling out.
Okay, so did we have any beans that came out? Wait, you see a couple down there on the ground. So I wonder if that would have impacted the launch itself or just the impact of the target, because the points that you're going to get are based on the impact. Right. So keep in mind, our scoring on the rings, 20 points for this outer ring, 50 points for this inner ring, and if it hits the do the math bullseye, that is 100 points. So keep that in mind as we consider how to make adjustments going forward for our second trial. Let's move now to our Green Knights. Trevor, Finley, and Emmanuel. Now, you had a chance to watch their launch. Let's get one on each side. Trevor, I believe, is going to be our launcher. Let's go ahead and spring that back. Pull and fire. Right around, I would think it looked like 50 points. Right. So, thoughts on the launch? Was that lower than you thought it was going to be? Was that better than you thought it was going to be? What were your expectations and how did that compare?
That was exactly how I thought it was going to go.
I thought it was going to be bullseye.
Okay, so
Close to the bullseye.
what do you think you might need to do to get to that bullseye then?
Maybe add more weight.
Let's see if that works out.
Ours is pretty heavy. We measured it and it was like 113 Somewhere around
Grams, right?
Grams.
Okay, so we'll see how that change flies into our next. Let's go to our blue sharks now. Vance, Asroth, and Aliana.
Come on over. Come on
Let's set up.
over.
Who's
You
going to
need someone
hold
on this side?
and who's going to launch?
On this side.
Elena, go ahead.
Yep, on the other side. Hold right here.
All right, this seems to be a little bit on the lighter side, so I'm curious to see if that has an impact on the launch. All right, Vance, go ahead and load up. Pull back as you need to. And fire. That had a little bit of a flutter. We now have some aerodynamics there, if you notice that. So does that, since it hit the ground first, it would be a 0. So you went with a strategy of trying it a little bit lighter, and you saw the impact of that. I also noticed you didn't pull it back all the way. So are there a lot of factors you may have to consider for the point scoring round? What do you think might be your strategy as you readjust the beanbag for our trials?
Well, I saw that I was too light, so then just went into the ground. So I think I should pull it back farther and make the mass heavier.
Okay, so adding to the beanbag and then pulling back farther. Finally, let's go to our yellow lightning. Coming into this final day, a little behind here on the scoreboard, so points matter more. Let's give it a shot. Billawal, Haris, and judges.
Bullseye. Bullseye for sure.
A good time for a good trial. So that should be very strong in getting you in a position here. We'll see how that adjusts in our actual iteration. They're going to get 2 tries in our next round. We'll see how they time out and who can hit the target. When we come back, for now, Mike, take it away.
We're going to head back over to the steam yard. We're going to check in with Devin and the teams and see exactly what's going on. So I know that you guys had your preliminary catapult with the beanbag. So Devin, take it away. Are they now going to start accumulating points?
The points are live. Absolutely, Mike. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Steam Yard. And the moment is here. It's our grand final for the Steam Yard Showdown. Right now, just to check the scoreboard, we have 3 teams tied, accumulating points over the course of our competition. The Purple Comets, the Green Knights, and the Blue Sharks, each at 190 points each. Yellow Lightning came in with 140, but they were the only group in the trials to hit the bullseye, which does have a 50-point advantage over the inner ring. So a lot can happen here, and whatever that's going to be, we're about to find out. Now, as part of this round, first iteration, teams will get 2 attempts to hit their targets. Those points will add up and contribute to their overall totals before heading into our final round challenge. So we're going to start off with the Purple Comets. You have the option of using any one of the catapults that you wish, and you have your first attempt at hand. So let's go ahead and have our 2 on the side to grasp down, and then our launcher load up and get ready.
Okay.
We're going to go with the main one that they did our first test on. Okay, we have our brace. We've got the launcher all the way back. Let's fire away in 3, 2, 1. That one did not miss that bullseye by much. That was scored and judged as a 50. So that adds 50 points to your overall total. Are there any other adjustments you want to make to the launcher?
Possibly help the launcher.
Okay. We're going to make that decision because we do have a limited time here. Do you want to make those adjustments?
All right, so we're using this one or that one? All right, so let's
Stick
continue
with this one.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, all right, we're going to switch up the launcher here. We're going to go Cypress here on the launcher. Okay, 50 on the first try. Let's load up. Pulling back in 3, 2, 1. That one dropped down a little bit, down to 20. So a total of 70 points overall. And that brings your overall total to 260.
All right, we ready? Next group.
All right, let's bring it into the Green Knights. So you want to go ahead and use this one. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, so you have a different catapult in mind for different beanbags. So we're going to go ahead and bring in
There we go.
this first catapult. Finley's going to go ahead and be our launcher for this time. Load it up. Sprung back in 3, 2, 1.
Mostly in the 20s.
They have ruled that one at 20. Okay, so 20 points, second launch. We're going to switch this up. This was your strategy coming in. Is there a reason you wanted to use this launcher with this beanbag?
Yes. Yes, because this one, for that one, we're going to use it for like the small one because this one weighs a lot heavier.
So you need a little bit more spring back on that heavy one. So 2 different types of beanbags here. 20 points on the first launch. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, a little struck. So I wonder if the combination of the weight and the spring back drove that down. Did not make contact with the target. So your total for this round, 20 points. That brings you overall to 210. Let's move on over to the Blue Sharks.
All right, next group. Which one do you want to go with?
Okay, we're going to move in. So Schwath points and he says, this one right here. Elena is here and Vance is there. So Schwath is our launcher. Coming in at 190 points, entering this round. 3, 2, 1. Judges.
I think it was predominantly in the 50. What do you say? You were right there close. Right?
Yeah, I felt like it was. I would give them the target for that one.
Judges have decided to give you the full 100 for that first launch. That puts you at 290 and literally catapults you into the lead for the moment. Now, you have one more launch. Do we want to keep this in place? Do we want to do any switches? Let's leave what works, right? Okay. So, one more launch here. Is this the same beanbag you used as well?
No, that's no.
Oh, okay.
This one's lighter.
All right. Let's go ahead. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh, interesting. 0 points on that one. That is a big moment there. So, you did get the initial bullseye to put you at 290 overall, which brings you in first place ahead of the Yellow Lightning. Congratulations on the lead for the moment. All right, Yellow Lightning. Reminder, this is the only squad that hit the bullseye on their solo test earlier in the show. We'll see if they can duplicate that success. Let's make sure we brace it down. Haris is going to launch in 3, 2, 1. That hit 50 that time. So still very close to that target. We have our second bullseye. Do we want to switch the launcher? We want to keep this one? We're going to keep it. All right. Adrian is going to launch this time. Brace down. 3, 2, 1. A little bit of a misfire on that one, and it hits the ground. But you did get 50 points to bring you up to 190, still within striking distance. Wonderful job, Yellow Lightning. You're still in it. Now, when we come back, we have our final event, except this time, there's a risk to be had. They're going to be asked whether they can make it with distance. With multipliers, we will learn who our first ever Steam Yard Showdown champion will be. Until then, we'll send it right back to the studio. Mike, take it away.
Thanks for that, Devin. A lot of things going on there. We thought for sure there were going to be more points had, but anyway, that's the way it goes. Well, time to go over to the Steam Yard and see who's going to claim the cup. Let's find out what's going on. Take it away, Devin. Let's find out.
Thank you very much, Mike. Hey, find a butter knife. See if you could cut the tension with it, because we are here in the final moments. We are going to have a champion in the next few minutes. It is our final round of the Steam Yard Showdown, the grand final. At the end of all of the events to this point, right now, the Blue Sharks are in the lead with 290 points. Our Purple Comets with 260, Green Knights with 210, and the Yellow Lightning at 190. But these points are more valuable than ever, and there's more of them to get. So let's talk a little bit about our final launch event. We have 3 tables set up. We are going to repeat the launch event. The points on the bullseye will remain the same. However, each of these tables represents a multiplier. So our teams can decide for 2 beanbag launches using the same beanbag to fire for standard points from this front table, or come to this second furthest table for a 2-time multiplier. That means a standard 100-point bullseye from here would be worth 200 points. Or come all the way back for the biggest risk of them all for our tripler, a 3x multiplier, meaning hitting a bullseye from back here would get you 300 points each launch. So you'll get 2 tries, but you have to decide which table you're going to launch from before you set up and make your attempts. Who will come out on top? We're going to start to find out right now, leading off with our second place team, the Purple Comets. So you have 260 points. You've tested it out during our breaks. You've dabbled around with the beanbag you're going to use as well as the launchers. Where would you like to make your attempts from?
The first table.
We're going to move up to the first. You're going to go with what you know is clear, it's close. Which launcher would you like to use?
We would like to take the beige one, please.
Okay, so it'll be this one right here. Let's go ahead and get our launches underway. Currently sitting at 260 points, 30 points off of the lead. Cypress is going to be our launcher. First pull back. Bag loaded in 3, 2, 1. Right on it for 100 points. We have a new leader in the clubhouse. Cypress, wonderful launch, right on the button. That puts you at 360 for the moment. Let's see if you can add to that total. One more pullback for the Purple Comets. Cypress loaded in 3, 2, 1. Right on the D of the Do the Math logo. A perfect front table score, 200 points that round. And that brings you to 460 points. A strong position as we move on to the Green Knights. Now, Green Knights, you had to sit and watch all that hold in front of you. You're at 210 points. Currently, the Purple Comets have a significant lead of about 250 in front of you. Knowing that, you've got some decisions to make. To have a shot at the championship, which table are you going to launch from?
Number 2.
We're going to launch from the doubler. Really, it gave you no choice, right?
Yeah.
So you had to step away from that front table to even have an option here. Launcher is set up. Finley is going to pull back here on the first of 2 attempts. Currently sitting at 210 points. Let's see what we can do. The bullseye's right there, lining it up. Got the putter's eye there. We are ready. 2, 1. All right, the double points are in play. So instead of that just being worth 20 points, that was worth 40. That brings your total to 250. One more pullback. We're going to have a switch here. Trevor pleading. Oh, we got a call to the bullpen. Okay, the reliever is in. Trevor pulling back. Finley and Emmanuel with the hold. Full pullback in 3, 2, 1. 50, that gives you 100 points. Excellent second attempt there. And that brings that total to 350 points. The Purple Comets still in a very strong position. Now, that takes us to our leaders at the beginning of the round, the Blue Sharks. You came in, you have 290, and you watch the Purple Comets with 460. You've got a decision to make. What's going to put you in the position you'd like to be at, and how do you think the Yellow Lightning will do too? So, think of the points you need, think of what you know you can pull off. Where would you like to launch from?
The first.
We're going to start with the front. Okay, so right now, we are back a little under 200 points. So bullseyes are going to put you in a really strong spot here. So Schwath is going to launch here. Vance and Elena. Here we go. Make sure we're bracing down. Pull back. First attempt. I think we have a snap on the rubber band. Let's see what that does. In 3, 2, 1. That hit the 50. That gives you 100 points. Right now, you're sitting at 390, trailing the Purple Comets by 70 points. So, something in the inner ring of the bullseye puts you in the lead. Now, do we want to pull back here? Do we want to switch launchers? What is your plan?
No, you can't take it off. Yeah, they can either switch.
We're going to go with the one where we did have a rubber band snap, or we're going to switch out. It looks like we're going to go with this one here. Okay, one final launch. Trailing by 70. Let's see what this takes us to in 3, 2, 1. On the bullseye! Right there on the mark. We had 100 on the first try. 50 on the first try, and then 100. This is a standard value here. So does that bring us to where we need to be? Let's see. I believe that puts us at a total of 440 points, which means our Purple Comets are still in the lead by 20. Now, this brings us to the Yellow Lightning. trailing by a good amount here. Which table do you want to make sure you launch from? Now, the first one, you need to make sure, even if you hit those bullseyes, does that get you to a point where you have a chance to win? That only gives you 200 to get to 390. You get 2. You get 2. So, if you do 2 bullseyes from this first table, you only end up with 200 points, and that's not enough to get you to the first place. In order to have a shot at the championship, you need to launch from at least the second one. What would you like to do here?
Second light pad. Second light pad.
What's you say?
We're going to launch from the second one. Okay. Are we still going to use this launcher here? All right. You get 2 beanbags, but you can use the same one twice. Okay? Now, the decision of which beanbag we're going to use. We're going to use this one. Let's brace and let's get set. It's time to go. We need people to hold. And Emmanuel on the other side. The wall will be our launcher. First attempt. Again, double the points here. In 3, 2, 1. Misfire, we'll give it a shot. All right. Let's try it again. In 3, 2, 1. That is a double on the 50, so that gives you 100. You're currently sitting at 290. So a bullseye here will give you the championship. One more shot for everything on the line. In 3, 2, 1. And I believe that locks it in for our first ever SteamYard Showdown champions. The Purple Comets, ladies, come on over. Jade, Cypress, and Alani. On behalf of the County Superintendent of Schools, we'd like to introduce Dr. John Mendenborough, Kern County Superintendent of Schools, to award our first ever champions, their medallions, and the inaugural SteamYard Showdown trophy. Their names will be engraved on it in perpetuity as a reminder of their efforts here today. So, congratulations to our first ever winners. Dr. Mendenborough, any thoughts?
I want to say how impressed I am with all the students. You guys did a wonderful job. You all should give yourselves a round of applause. And congratulations. There was no way I could have done that at all. So you guys are geniuses. So congratulations again.
A wonderful showing, a big ending here to bring us to our first ever champions. Let's get you to hoist up that trophy, and we'll send it back to the studio. Take it away.
Thanks for that, Devin. Congratulations to all of the kids participating in the SteamYard Challenge for the first half of this year.